Hello everybody and welcome back to the Connects Marble League. Today we have the 8th event wrapping up the second third of this tournament. It is block dueling. Two teams of 4 marbles will roll down and hit that block in the center. The one that hits it further past into the other team zone will take the win there. See that line in the middle is what they've got to get past. Current standings, looking at them, the cardboard cutouts are now just 7 points ahead of the Emerald Sprites, with the Scarlet Sins also closing in. So this event could decide a lot. First up, we got the Graveyard Ghouls up against the cardboard cutouts. Down they come into the middle, and that's a pretty close match between the two. I'm not entirely sure who got it. Cardboard cutouts seem to get their first. Graveyard Ghouls had a bit of a comeback. What's the score going to be? And just barely, by 1 point, the cardboard cutouts will take the win. Second heat, we got the Surface Striders and the Locust Plague. Down they come, and that's also going to be very close, but I think the Surface Striders might have just barely taken that. Locust Plague had a good resistance, but I don't think it's going to be enough. No, it's not. Surface Striders take the win with a +3. Heat 3 here, we've got the Ice Angels and the Kitten Castle. Both these teams have not been doing that well recently. Oh, let's go, the Kitten Castle. That is a lovely push from them. Ice Angels might have gotten there first. Kitten Castle did very nicely with a lot of pushback against that team. What will it work out to? +6 for the Kitten Castle. Not that bad from them. Next up, we got the Crimson Royalty and the Necromancer Knights. The two teams come down into the middle, and that's a massive push there from the Necromancer Knights. A very impressive performance from the black team. Look at that, just so much force there against where the Crimson Royalty didn't have any. Gonna go for 13 millimeters over the Crimson Royalty. That's what they've won by. Emerald Sprites and the Mossy Mice are up next. One team here been doing very well, another team not, and that's gonna be pretty close. I'm not 100% sure who's got it. Does look like the Emerald Sprites, though, had a bit more on the top there. See the verdict, and yes, Emerald Sprites +4 millimeters over the Mossy Mice. Up next, we see the Scarlet Sins and the Antarctic. Scarlet Sins, they are currently in 3rd place. Let's see how they do in this event against the Antarctics. And Antarctics, my goodness, that was an absolute destruction. Seemed to just pierce right down the middle of the Scarlet Sins formation. And that is going to be +11 millimeters for the Antarctics, a calculated destruction of the red team. Heat 7, Fiery Opals and the Revolutionaries. Both these teams have been doing all right this season. Down they come, Fiery Opals. That is going to be a very impressive and dominating performance. Seemed to hit the block up a little bit. Revolutionaries didn't have as much force there, and they will lose by -9. Fiery Opals 9 millimeters ahead. And the final heat, Exoplanets against Valiant Velocity. Two blue teams. How will this one shake out? And that's going to be the Exoplanets with a very nice performance. Look to just hit that bottom of the block there, knocked it out of the way of the Valiant Velocity. And that will give them the win. +8 millimeters is their score. And that does us for the heats. Looking down from 9th to 16th, Graveyard Ghouls, they only lost by 1 millimeter. So they will take 9th place for their Locust Plague, Mossy Mice, Ice Angels, Valiant Velocity, Revolutionary Scarlet Sins, and Crimson Royalty down there with -13. First quarterfinal, Fiery Opals up against the Kitten Castle. How will these two teams do coming down into the middle? And that's going to be close. But I think the Kitten Castle might have just had a bit of an extra edge on it. Yes, that block jumped forward first, but then it jumped to the left. And I believe the Kitten Castle will take it by just 2 millimeters. A very close heat. Second quarterfinal here. Surface Striders and the Cardboard Cutouts. Down these two teams come, and that's going to be incredibly close. Cardboard Cutouts had a bit of a last hit there, but I'm not even sure that moved at all. Cardboard Cutouts, again, they did have that last hit. Is they going to be able to give them the win? No, it's not. It's a dead tie. 0 millimeters, and they're going to have to go again. Down they come a second time, and that's going to be very close again, but I think the Cardboard Cutouts might have just managed to pull it off. Yes, Surface Striders, I think they were leaning a bit too hard to the right, to the bottom, and the Cardboard Cutouts will just barely win it, +3 millimeters for that team. Exoplanets and the Antarctics up next for the third quarter final. Down the teams come in the Antarctics. That is another very impressive performance. First was the Skeletons, now it's the Exoplanets. What's that going to work out to? Plus 12 millimeters for the Antarctics. Very impressive in this event so far. Emerald Sprites and the Necromancer Knights. Necromancer Knights, they did very well in their hit against the Crimson Royalty. Down these two teams come, but this time it's the Emerald Sprites who pierced the defenses of the Necromancer Knights. That was not even close. Necromancer Knights, they were very slow to get to the block, and that's what resulted in their loss. Plus 15 for the Emerald Sprites. Necromancer Knights are out. And as you can see, all the way down there in 8th place with that performance. Fiery Opals do manage to get the 5th place spot, followed by the Surface Striders, and then the Exoplanets. We move to the semi-finals. Cardboard Cutouts and the Antarctics. These teams on opposite sides of the standings. Will that matter much here? Doesn't really look like it. That looks very close. I think the Antarctics might have got it. That block jumped forward a little, didn't jump back much, and it is going to be the Antarctics. By 4 millimeters, they will take down the Cardboard Cutouts and move to the final. Second semi-final. Who will face the Antarctics? Will it be the Emerald Sprites or Kidden Castle? Down the teams come in the Emerald Sprites once again. Pierce through the defenses of the opposing team. A very strong performance up against the Kidden Castle, who again, a bit slow on the uptake. What's the score going to be? Plus 13 for the Emerald Sprites. They'll move on to face the Antarctics. But before that, we have the bronze match. Cardboard Cutouts and Kidden Castle. A rematch from the first event final. Cardboard Cutouts won that, but who will win this one? And that's going to be the Kidden Castle. They get their revenge to take the bronze medal in block dueling. They did very, very well here up against a top team like the Cardboard Cutouts. Plus 11, a calculated destruction. And Kidden Castle take the bronze. But on to the main event, Emerald Sprites and the Antarctics. The team in second and the team in second last. How will they do? And that's very close, but I think that block just jumped to the right a little bit. Taking a look at the replay, Antarctics, they did their best to defend, but the attack of the Emerald Sprites was too much and they will win plus 4 millimeters. And the Emerald Sprites win the gold medal in block dueling. They were very impressive all throughout. Antarctics, they did their best, could only manage the silver, and Kidden Castle win the bronze. The Emerald Sprites, they have managed to capture 2 gold medals in a row, and that is just barely enough to overtake the Cardboard Cutouts for the first time this season by just a single point. Fairly far way down there to the Necromancer Knights in 3rd place. Fiery Opals have also risen all the way to 5th now, and Arctics have managed to rise 2 spots. Kidden Castle have also managed to rise 1 with their medals. Next event, we will have collision curling, so I will see you then.